Science of Winning Podcast, episode number 9. Hey, welcome back once again to the Science of Winning Podcast, your number one source for learning how to win in your sport, where each week we dive into the minds of championship-winning athletes and coaches to discover how champions think and what they do to achieve athletic success. I am your host, Lyndon Gortney. On this week's episode, we are once again diving into the brilliant mind of a championship-winning coach to discover his secrets to how he has developed a winning program. Enjoy this episode.
All right, today we are here with Coach Nate Jones, the head coach of the boys 4A state champion Oklahoma City Douglas High School Trojans. Hey, thanks for being with us today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Coach, as you know, this podcast is a study of champions. We study winners to learn how to replicate their success. Coach, I know that you're a winner, but for my listeners who may not know about you or your program, could you tell our listeners how many state championships you have won as either a coach, a head coach, assistant coach, or as a player?
Well, this is my third year here at Douglas. This is my first year as a head. Since I've been here, we won two state championships. And out of the last 8 years, we've won 7 out of the last 8.
That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, right there, that is why we're talking with Coach Jones today. This is a proven winning program. These guys know how to take a bunch of young men and create champions. So we are super excited to be talking with you today, Coach. Okay, so we want to hear a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your background in sports. We want to hear a little bit about what you consider to be your greatest success.
I played high school basketball at Brunson City High School.
Okay.
In Lawrenceville, Virginia, which is a traditional powerhouse in 2A in Virginia. I went to Langston University, played at Langston University under Coach Webb. Once I finished at Langston University, I went overseas and played in Argentina. Came back to Langston, worked at Langston, coached at Langston, and went to On Point Academy for a few months and then came over to Douglas.
Excellent. Now, tell us a little bit about, it's easy for us to kind of put these champions up on a pedestal and these guys that know how to win, and it's easy to look up to them and think, man, they've never made, they're larger than life. But I want to hear a little bit about your personal side. Tell us a little bit about, your family and what you do for fun there in Oklahoma City.
Well, I'm lucky. I have a basketball family. All my kids play basketball. I have a daughter, Natalia, who's a freshman at Booker T, Washington, there in Tulsa. Mm-hmm. And my son, Jaden, who's one of the top 5th graders in the state of Oklahoma.
Wow.
And I have 2 daughters who are sophomores here at Douglas with me. So, and my 2 younger boys, Nate and Jackson, they play basketball as well. So, my wife loves basketball. So I'm a lucky coach that I have my family who love to be around the game, and they know that, basketball season comes around, that daddy's in basketball mode, and we got to help daddy out. So I'm truly lucky in that regard.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. What do you do for fun there in the big city?
Well, we just do family things. If my son Jaden's not traveling to play out of state and with his traveling team, as an elite training, we are here doing family things like go to the movies, go to the zoo, just doing downtime things to get away from basketball, just to relax from basketball, to refresh my mind a little bit. So it's just whatever the kids want to do.
Absolutely. I completely understand. I've got 4 kids myself, and so I know all about making sure we get those kids doing the fun things and letting them have those experiences. So that's great, sir. Coach. All right, so let's jump into the meat of this. Are you ready to get going here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So the first question I really want to dive into, and this is kind of the largest and one of the biggest questions of this whole podcast, is I want to know what are your top or your most impactful keys or secrets to winning, and how you guys have built such an amazing winning program. If you've got 3 to 5 just kind of principles that you guys have used to build such an amazing program.
Let's start with the kids.
Okay.
The kids, the players is what makes the program. You got to have kids that want to win, that want to be a part of something special, to believe that they can be something special, and put in the hard work to achieve that goal. I'm a big firm believer in teaching being disciplined and hard work.
Sure.
Nobody's going to outwork us, and nobody's going to be more disciplined than we are. Will somebody look out on the outside looking in when we play? They're like, no, they don't look disciplined. They look organized. But no, that's how we want to play. We want to be chaotic. We want to be up tempo. And we want to get teams out of their normal routine that they do every day in practice.
That's excellent. All right. What other secrets do you guys have with your players that you've used to help them build such an amazing program?
they just come to, like I said, once again, it's the players. You know, they come in, put in the hours, unrequired work. You know, they come in on their free time to get up shots. They come in, do ball handling. It's the players. So since I've been here, you know, we had great players. You know, this is probably our first year that we don't have a true all-state player on our roster, but we have, you know, 15 guys that's hungry, and, you know, I have 4 seniors who taking a leadership role to lead this team. And, you know, one of the things I tell these guys, don't be that team that don't put a number on the board, and which is don't be that team not to win a state championship.
Sure.
Don't be a senior class, don't win a state championship. And so that makes them hungry and put in that work.
That's great. What have you done to develop a strong culture there? I mean, that desire that these young men have, you know, you may have other schools that have kids that are very talented, even elite level players, but they as a program haven't developed that hunger to win. You mentioned, you know, telling them, hey, they come from a dynasty here, a little legacy, and don't be the one that breaks that chain. What else have you done to help create that hunger in these young men?
You know, once again, it's the kids. They want to get better, and you know, and I tell them that the only way you get better is you put in hard work.
It's good.
You know, you got to be hard work and dedicated. And the question I always ask these guys is, why are you doing it? Why are you here? You know, if you're not willing to put in the hard work or be dedicated to your craft, what are you doing it for? You know, if you're not trying to go to college, get an education, why are you here?
That's good.
You know, why are you playing? Why are you doing the sprints? Why are you going through all of this preseason workouts if you're not trying to get something out of it?
Oh, that's excellent.
So that's one of the main things that we're trying to teach these guys. Why are you doing it? You know, if you're doing it, do it for the right reasons.
So you're helping them identify their purpose for being there, their purpose for putting in the work and going through the pain every single day. That is excellent.
And being on the east side of Oklahoma City, you know, the majority of these young men don't have a lot of positive aspects in their lives.
Sure.
So basketball is the only positive outlet that many of them have.
Absolutely. Who do you say would be one of their biggest role models, you know, being there in Oklahoma City? I know there's obviously a professional sports team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are there, and you got some amazing guys there. Would you say that there are any specific athletes that these young men look up to?
Yes, they look up to all the athletes, you know, all professional basketball players. They look up to all those guys. So, you know, they just see those guys on TV and want to emulate those guys. So,
absolutely.
You know, they look up to Trey Youngs and those guys they see in high school last year. Like, we just recently went to I take my guys to OU practices. Yeah, I take those guys to OU practices, and they watch those guys practice. So Coach Hartman and Coach Kruger, those guys, you know, allow us to come in and sit and watch them practice. And it's a blessing for my guys because they get to see how college guys actually work and what they do, and it carry over to them when they come back to practice.
That's outstanding.
Which is a good thing.
That's outstanding. I love that. Well, Coach, got another question here for you. What would you say is your biggest failure as a coach or as a player, and what did you learn from that?
My biggest failure is last year that I didn't get 2 of my guys in college. Last year I had 7 seniors, and I got 5 of my 7 seniors into college.
Wow.
So my biggest failure is why I didn't get those 2. Why those 2 gentlemen didn't want to go to college?
Sure.
You know, with all the accolades that we won on the court, that was my biggest loss. Not getting my 2 guys in college.
Wow.
So I had to go back and reevaluate, you know, why they didn't go to college, why they didn't want to go to college, and try to figure out some things, you know, to continue to help them guys be successful wherever they did.
Sure.
So, you know, that's my main goal being here, is to show these young men that they can do it. It's more than life than just basketball, you know, because, you know, one day the ball's going to stop bouncing, and what you going to do after that?
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to preach to these guys as well, that, you know, you have to look at your future. 5 seasons last year to go to college. You know, Corian Mason, he's at NSU in Tahlequah.
Yeah.
And I have 4 guys go down to Randall University here. So, you know, that's a big achievement for us.
Yeah, that is huge.
5 of the 7 going, but I want all my guys to go. I want my whole senior class to go to college. So
that's great. That's great. You know, it's part of our responsibility as coaches is not just to teach these kids the game of basketball, but to teach them about life. And like you said, to prepare them for life. You know, when you get out in life, you get out of high school, even out of college, life's pretty tough, right? It's not easy. But the principles and stuff that you can instill into these young men and young women, for these other coaches listening to the podcast, these principles will last a lifetime, and they will translate not just on the court or on the field, but into their daily activities. That's absolutely outstanding. Well, good job, Coach. Well, so you said you've got 4 seniors this year, right? So how are you going to take that experience from last year, having a couple guys decide to not go the college route? How are you going to translate that and to turn that into a success with these 4?
Well, we kept coming into at the end of last year, and when we started summer ball, I started talking to those guys about their future.
Sure.
What they wanted to do, and all 4 of them said, "Hey, I want to go to college."
It's great.
And so I had them to fill out a list. I said, "Okay, give me 7 colleges you want to go to."
Yeah.
And they all filled out the colleges, and I said, "Well, we're gonna go fill out applications to each one of those colleges. We'll make sure you have your ACT scores, and we gotta see what it would take for you to be admitted to those colleges."
Excellent.
So we're in the process of doing those things with those guys. And then I said, "Hey, now your application's in. Now we have to look and see what basketball takes."
Sure.
We got the applications to schools that you want to go to. Now let's see what basketball will get you to.
That's great. I tell my daughter regularly, I say, sweetheart, Daddy did play sports in college, and I was also in the Marine Corps, and I played a lot of sports while I was in the Marine Corps. I said, sweetheart, like I said, I got scholarships and whatnot, but I said, I've made far more money with my brain than I ever did with my athletic skills. Right? And then, they say that there's about 40 to 50 million young athletes in America under the age of 18. And guess how many professional athletes there are? 16,000. So your chances of going all the way from one of, 50 million young people to make it all the way and make your sport a career, while it does happen, it's about like winning the lottery. So, helping these young people understand that basketball is thrilling, it's fun, and it can really help them even pay for their education. It's that education that is going to carry them the rest of their life. So that's outstanding.
And to speak on that, my wife just did, she's the team mom. She just pulled all the GPAs for the guys, and out of my 15 guys, I only have 1 guy with a GPA below a 3.0.
Oh, wow.
So that's a testament to, how these guys look at their education.
That is great, Coach. Oh, so exciting. Well, good job there. Well, let me ask you another question, Coach. You're a learned man. You have walked the road and learned a whole bunch of stuff. And with your years of knowledge and experience, what do you know now that you wish you would have known when you were a young athlete or even a younger coach?
Doing the unrequired work. As a young player, I look back and I didn't do the unrequired work that I was supposed to put in. And that's why I appreciate to these guys the stuff that I didn't do as a player. So I'm trying to teach these guys, hey, I did this way, and it really didn't work for me, so we're going to do it this way for you. Because I think this will be a better process because I went through each level of playing, and I saw what it took to get to those levels. So I'm trying to carry that over and teach these guys, hey, this is what got me to this level, but if I did this, I would have got to this level.
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to preach to these young men that is more than just a 9-to-5 per se. You got to put in the overtime to get to that next level.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. There's a book called Relentless, written by the guy who trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and some of these guys. His name is Tim Grover. And his book, Relentless, talks about what it takes to be elite, the absolute prioritization of that one thing, and everything else comes second. And, we can't all maybe reach the full elite status of a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan, but it's a great principle. So whatever you are working on in life, wherever you're wanting to go, if you have goals and dreams and ambitions, a direction that you're wanting to head, if it's truly something that you want to do, it takes extreme dedication and focus. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about there. That's excellent. Now, Coach, you've had a lot of champions, a lot of winners, great athletes play for you, and the programs you've been a part of. What do you remember about them? What are the traits of these young men that you could say that kid is a champion? What's the biggest few traits that you've seen in these kids?
the one particular kid I talk about, is Corian Mason.
Mm-hmm.
The kid, he's at NSU right now. Last year was his senior year. As a freshman, he played behind those. He was behind those great teams that that was here before his freshman year, and then his sophomore year he broke his growth plate. So he wasn't part of that team, but he saw those guys and what it took to win, and he sat there and he just waited his turn. His junior year, he came in, he worked his butt off, and he had Patrick Kaufman, who's now at OSU playing football at OSU. He had Patrick and Ruben and those guys, and they helped him and taught him, hey, this is what it takes to be a winner. And he learned from those guys coming to his senior year. He was frustrated that he didn't have any offers. He didn't have any college offers from any schools like the OSUs and any UCOs and those schools. And he saw all these other guys that he felt that he was better than getting offers.
Yeah.
And he came to me. He said, Coach, I'm frustrated, Coach. I'm frustrated. I just told him that Corian, it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
You just handle what you handle on the court and off the court, and it's going to come. And he went through the season. He was hurt, but you never know he was hurt. You never know he was 80% because he played with his heart and he played with dedication. And his other teammates fed off of that. And to this day, I tell my other coaches that the reason why we won and we started that game, it wasn't because we were better than Star, but because we had a person who wanted more than Star.
Mm.
And those guys fed off of that with Corian and Jesse, who those guys just wanted it, and just so happened that things fell into place that NSU got a new coach, came in. Corian went up there for a visit and liked it, and ended up at NSU, and they got a gym. I tell people that all the time. You got a Division I player that nobody knows about.
That's outstanding.
And he loves the game, and he dedicates himself to the game. And that's the example that I use for my guys now, that, no matter what you're looking at right now, control what you can control.
Yes.
So, and that's been a big thing for us.
Oh, that's excellent, Coach. So passion and a heart and desire to win. It reminds me of my favorite movie of all time is Braveheart, the story of William Wallace in Scotland. And, his passion ignited a revolution for freedom. And it was, had he not been such a passionate, fired up person about where he was going in life, Scotland may have never broken free. They may have never regained their freedom. And it is, I see that, and it is amazing. Passion is absolutely contagious. And when you have somebody who is that fired up, they light a fire under themselves, and everybody else can't help but crowd around and get warm. You know what I'm saying, Coach?
Yes, sir.
So I absolutely love that. That is an excellent trait for champions. Okay, getting close to the end here. I've got a couple more good questions for you. Let's say that you've been given a team of a bunch of players that you've never met, you've never even seen before. What do you do during the first month with these guys to shape them into a winning team?
Get to know them guys. Get to know about them. Their likes, their dislikes, their home life. Meet their parents. Meet their siblings. Just get to know those guys on a personal level. Because I look at this as a team, as a family.
Yeah.
If you don't know about your brother, how can you play with your brother? So we get to know each other. We do things like my wife will cook, and all the guys come over to the house, or we have something at the school. Just different things that we get to know each other.
Yeah.
Just group activities.
Follow up on that. So what you're basically saying is that until somebody knows you, they may not give their all for you, right?
Exactly.
So until teammates know each other and know the coach, they're not willing to put in that work. So building those relationships makes a strong team. That is excellent, Coach. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, I've got one final question for you, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. If you could tell young athletes or coaches one thing that would help them out the most, what would it be?
Take time off. Get away from the game. Whenever you can get away, get away. Take some downtime and get away so you won't burn yourself out. Especially as coaches, we're so demanding. We want the best, not only for our players but for ourselves. We put too much time into it, and we don't take the time downtime to get away. You know, my assistant coach, Coach Moses, you got to make me get away. Coach, go away. Go.
Yeah.
Get some downtime. Because I would stay in this office watching film, looking at plays, trying to figure out how to make my team better. So you just, the main thing is get away from the game and just get away, get some downtime, get away, relax, you know, refresh your mind, refresh your body, re-energize yourself.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much today. How can those of us, our listeners, that want to learn more about you and what you're doing or want to follow along with your basketball program this year, how can we contact you or follow you guys?
Contact me at njones@okcps.org.
Okay.
You can text me or call me. My number is 405-541-0595. You know, my practice is always open. If guys want to come to practice and watch practice, just give me a call. Let me know you're coming. The door is always open.
That's excellent. Coach, how about any social media? Are you on Facebook or Twitter? Is it cool to have a program?
I'm on Facebook too. Don't have a page yet. We're in the process of working on the page.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook at Nate 1914 on Facebook.
Okay.
So you know, just send me a text message and give me a call.
Excellent.
I'll reply to text messages on phone calls.
Excellent. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. You guys have done an outstanding job with your program and developing young men and young athletes. We are so excited to see what the future holds for you guys. So thank you for being with us today, Coach.
Thank you for having me, sir.
As always, during the course of this podcast, we want to always be improving and finding better ways to help you. If you can see ways that we can improve this podcast, if there are questions you have, or if there are ways we can better serve you and add value to you, please reach out to us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/Science of Winning Podcast or search Science of Winning Podcast up in the search bar. Just a reminder once again from the start of our show, we have officially started our 1,000 in 180 campaign. Over the next 180 days, we want to gather 1,000 testimonials from our listeners of how you have used these proven principles of winning to get real results. Tell us your story about how you've used these principles to gain a competitive edge over your competition. Just head to our Facebook page and post your success story today. Now, if you have a sport or a position that you would like us to break down for you, let us know. Just go to our Facebook page and post your question there, and we will answer it either directly to you or in a podcast episode. Now, I am super excited to hear about your dreams and to help you achieve them. I want you to do me a quick favor. Can you think of 5 athletes, coaches, or parents of athletes that you think would benefit from this podcast? Send them the link to this podcast. Share it with them right now. Show them that you care about their success by giving them this gift. As always, please subscribe to our podcast, give our episodes a rating so that we know which ones you like and which ones we can improve. This is Lyndon Gortney, and you've been listening to The Science of Winning.